Good evening. We are live in the Tallinn TV Black Nights Film Festival Press Center, and we have here with us with the film The Faithful Son from Belgium that will have its premiere tonight in about a couple of hours. But first we will kick off a quick question round with the director, Guérin van der Vorst, then the producer, Benoit Roland, and actress Salomé Richard. And yeah, thank you for being here, and thank you for being in the competition of Black Nights. I just would like to discuss a bit about the story and the background. Like, why did you choose this topic, and why is this story important to you?
Yeah, so the idea of the movie started when a friend of mine told me an event in his childhood. He didn't see his father for years, and suddenly one day his father came to his school. He took him and he spent time with him. He began to spend time with him, but he lived some transgressive experience. And so he was happy to be with his father, but at the same time, he had the feeling that he was living something that was not good for his age. So everything started from that point. After that, I began to imagine what kind of life his father had before going to see his son. I imagined that he went in jail for 3 years, and he made a bad meeting with a predicator Islamist, and so the story continues.
Yes, and it is a very moving story about, actually, the central motif being a father trying to reconnect after doing jail time, and then while being on the outskirts of the society in a bit. So maybe you would also speak a bit about him being on that outskirts of the society. Why is this topic important to you, and also this process, the new people he meets? So what were you like addressing with those aspects of the story?
Yeah, in every short movie I made before, it was always question about this thematic, this theme of marginality. So it's true that it's a topic that I am really concerning about that, because I think we can analyze a society when you look at the marginals. So yeah, that's why I work on these themes. And in the movie, he meet this predicator Islamist because he don't have to. He doesn't succeed to see his son like he wished, and so he's looking for. To find a sense of his life, and yeah, so he's lost. He's trying to find a sense, and then he made bad meeting. Yeah, I don't know if it's clear.
No, yeah, and I mean he finds a spiritual family. So all these guys that he meets manage to put a kind of a comfortable sphere around him that he feels comfortable, and he feels again a man and someone that counts and find something important to do, that he really tries to do by finding a job and trying to reconnect to the society and then reconnect to his son, which is very difficult when you've been marginalized like that, when you've been to prison, and it's really difficult in society. I mean, Belgium, in other countries even more, to reconnect to the society.
And actually, that brings us to the character portrayed by Salomé. So maybe you could also comment on how do you see your character in this story, because she's a person who's trying to, like, perhaps she doesn't even know all about the potential of the leading character Ben being radicalized, but she still tries to, through emotions, keep her from, moving towards the.
Well, I think she doesn't know anything about Ben. She doesn't know he's been to prison. She doesn't know he's on the edge of radicalization. And she's quite on the margin too, I think. And but in a very different way. She's just tried to keep her shit together and go on. And I didn't get to see the movie yet, but I will tonight. And I think she sparks a little bit of joy and a little bit of life, and she could be a link for him to merge in society a little bit easier. But as he's on his way, I think he doesn't really want to connect with her at this point anymore. He's not even able, I think, to be connected to the society and to what she represents as like life that could go on. Am I right?
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, it's the fact is, Ben, in his phase of radicalization, for him, he couldn't see a girl like the character of Salomé. So this character, for him, is a danger, but at the same time, he has desire for her. So that's a kind of struggle inside him.
I think she represents a possible path of life that he chooses not to take.
Very beautiful.
It's interesting you brought this up because I think out of all the films, this is a very complex one because it doesn't show the world as black and white, and it doesn't show that there is this one set path, but like every scene sort of builds this a labyrinth of possibilities. And also that's why the problem of radicalization is so hard to predict or to overcome. But maybe we could also discuss a bit about the background still, because it's not a central theme in the film, but still Brussels is sometimes called as the Mecca of Islam in Europe, right? So maybe you could comment on that as well, like the social background of the film.
Just want to say Brussels is a very nice city to be. We are very happily living in Brussels, and that
No, but
great
I'm
city
not,
to be. But I mean, it's a city that the way it got built and the politics tried to manage intercultural life in Brussels. It's true that everyone is living in the city. They didn't build, kind of sub-cities around Brussels. So that created great stuff and loads of mixity, culturally speaking, etc. It created problems as well because, politics didn't manage to handle that properly, apparently. And it's true that a lot of the people that happen to be terrorists and make terrible stuff around Europe came from Brussels or passed through Brussels or managed to do stuff from Brussels. And then I will let you speak because it's his film. But I mean, yeah, again, the story tells the story of this guy that happens to be in Brussels and meet this guy at this moment of his life, and that everyone can be mixed and can enter this very bizarre world and complicated world, and you don't have to be someone coming from Syria. You can be this guy live in Brussels for all his life. It just happened that he lived in this neighborhood that met these people before the prison and inside the prison.
Yeah, that's what that was the thing I really was stunned by. It was really people like you and me. Suddenly they go to Syria. So it was so crazy to imagine some years ago, and I tried to understand something about that. So I met the mother of a jihadist. and she told to me how it was happened for his child who died in Syria at 17, and yeah, I tried to understand how this way can be taken, and it seems to be suddenly very easily to go that way. If you're not equilibrated, balanced, and if you had spent 3 years in jail and you're completely lost, it could be a possibility for you to find a sense in your life.
Yeah, perhaps one could say that society is the chain metaphor maybe applies, that society also is defined by how it looks after its like weakest links, and yeah. But maybe also a bit about the production and the locations, because the film is has a very naturalistic feel, and a lot of it takes place on the streets and in those places where I think an average tourist would never enter, especially where the Islamic rites takes place. So maybe you could discuss a bit about the aesthetics and.
Yeah, anyway, we all live in Brussels, and Brussels is where we wanted this film to happen. Where Guérin wrote the film, he wrote it in Brussels for Brussels, and it has always been the plan to shoot in Brussels, and yes, it's neighborhood of I mean the famous Molenbeek for wrong reason, but I have to say that it's 200 meters from the center. There is a great modern art museum, 100 meters where we shot the apartment of the guy, and so again, it's a small city. Everything is interlinked, and yeah, I think we all love Brussels, and we think Brussels is a very cinegenic city, very beautiful city to film, and yeah, and I think. Yeah, Guérin managed to film it in a very beautiful way. Hope so. Let's see.
And I also wanted to ask about the work on the set between the actors, and how was the wonderfully portrayed character Sam? The actor was called Simon Gaudry. How was work with him? How much of the story did you have to explain him, and was there anything that in some scenes where you were forced to, I don't know, keep him away of, and protect him a bit?
Yeah, of course, I didn't hold the story to Simon, and but it was really easy to work with him, because he's very enthusiastic, but also very serious and concentrate when we are shooting, and he really became a friend of the main actor, Vincent Rotier. So they really became friends. They were very close. So they had a lot of joy to see each other and to work together. And yeah, it was easily. And it didn't need to be really protected from something in the movie. It was not frightening for him, or I don't know. No, it was really a nice actor to work with. He's 10 years old, but he's an actor.
And I'm not going to spoil the ending, but I think it's safe to say that you have left things open in this film. So what was the reasoning behind that?
Yeah, because we didn't want to have something close at the end. And why? Because yeah, the main of the movie was not that when people go out of the theater they want to kill themselves, you know. So that was not the aim, and I don't like happy end neither. So yeah, we tried to have an ending that was right and well balanced and with hope.
For me, it's a kind of happy ending, for example, you know. So
Yeah, yeah.
don't know.
I think I know what you mean by that. And but we are having the international premiere in Tallinn, but you also already had the world premiere. So maybe a bit about the first reactions from the people who have seen it.
Yeah, we present it in Namur in Belgium, and it's the biggest French-speaking festival in Belgium, and we had a very good reaction at the end. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
No, I guess the people who hated it didn't tell us immediately, I guess, but no, they were moved. I mean, it was a real audience. It was a very full professional. I mean, it's a nice festival, and no, I guess they were at least into it. Nobody left during the screening, I have to say. So.
Well, yeah. Thank you, Salomé. Thank you, Benoit. Thank you, Guérin, and good luck with the screening tonight. And just a reminder, the screening is at 9 in the Apollo Solaris, and there are still some final tickets left. It's a wonderful film, so don't miss out. Thank you.